The feds are doing a full search for Diddy right now because two key witnesses stepped forward and described the details of what the involvement of Diddy was in both the Cassie and the Tupac situation. I want everybody to understand, if you rocking with Tupac and Cassie and all the victims, put the 222s in the comment section. Let me know what you really think about P. Diddy, because a lot of people think that he actually did it, man. And a lot of people know for a fact that through all these years, people that knew what was going on, they was getting taken out the picture, man. Everybody was scared to say something because they knew P. Diddy, he had a lot of money and everything like that. He had a lot of connections. So a lot of people, they didn't want to lose the lifestyle that they just got, man. One thing that people got to understand is that no matter how much money you get, you still have to do the right thing. And this is why Diddy, he didn't do the right thing, and the karma's coming back on him. If y'all know, for the one thing y'all need to understand is the fact that when he did that to Tupac, and he did it to Cassie and Biggie and everything else, it wasn't just stopping at one. It was another person, another person, another person. And this is why all these people, they didn't want to really like bring it to the forefront and say anything, because they thought he already went through the lengths to get people that was bigger than them like out the way and hit up and everything. So they didn't even want to like jeopardize anything like that. The families of Tupac and Cassie, they want the justice for everybody. They want the justice to make sure that Diddy, he like actually owns up to what he did. The mistakes he made is what led to this whole entire case being brought upon him. The millions, it was a lot of people that was around Diddy that knew that something was wrong, that what he was doing, and they just didn't say anything soon enough. If they had spoke out about it a lot earlier, it could have saved Cassie, it could have saved all the other people that have been coming forward saying that what Diddy did to them, he was wrong for that, man. And a lot of them people, they know for a fact that there's people who didn't want to even work with Diddy because they know that they're not cool with some of the stuff, man. Like, you got to ask 50 Cent and Mike Tyson, they've been saying it for the longest time, and Gene Deal. These are the three main people who's actually going against Diddy. 50 Cent, he knows for a fact that the things in New York that has been done, a lot of the New Yorkers, a lot of the celebrities from New York and the East Coast have came to 50 Cent and they said, this is what happened between me and Diddy. This is why I no longer like go there, and he don't go to his studio or nothing no more, because they didn't want to be in Bad Boys anymore. They wanted to get out that deal because they know that Danity Kane, everything that happened to them is an example of what could happen to everybody else, man. And at the end of the day, Diddy, he just wanted to use them and everything to get everything to go up. Like, he had that $1 billion he was trying to get. He was trying to buy out everything. This is why he was giving back the masters and everything like that. He had to give 30 million to Cassie, and he's selling Revolt and Bad Boys for 50 million. It's a lot, because that's how much he has to go back and pay to all of the victims. In the lawsuit, it states that DJ Academics, when he brought the reports out from the whole law and the jury, they said that Diddy, he was actually looking at getting a lot of years for this. And this is the main reason why they made him pay so much money, is because this is going to have a dent in his pockets. Like, they're making him, like, they force him to sell Sean John. They don't want to carry it in any of the stores no more. All of the designer stores, they don't carry Sean John, and they didn't want it, because they know that a lot of people, they're going to not shop there no more, because they see that they still rocking with Diddy, and a lot of people, they not rocking with Diddy no more. Let me know if y'all rocking with Diddy or if y'all rocking with Tupac and everybody else, because at the end of the day, Gene Deal, he sat there and exposed what was really going on. It's three main people. Gene Deal knows the phone calls that Diddy did, because Diddy, he was doing all the texting and the calls back and forth with Cassie, telling her that if she don't do this, he's going to do this to her, or he's going to make this happen and make that happen. And a lot of people thought that he was capping, but when you go back and look at the reports and the details that came out, like, he actually went and did the things that he was like threatening her, saying he was gonna do. This is what happened to Kid Cudi's car. This is what happened to literally like 3 other people that it was like Cassie was trying to be friends with, and she was trying to find a way to where she could make all this work, but he didn't want that to happen, man. Diddy was trying to be controlled, like, over every situation. He wouldn't let her go and see her friends or like visit back home and everything like that. And this is what made Cassie stop and realize that she was in a bad position, because she couldn't easily get out of this. This is her actual boss and everything like that, because she works underneath P. Diddy. Like, he's the guy that's actually making sure that she gets the paychecks every Friday and everything like that. So if she gets mad at him and she leaves and goes somewhere else or whatever like that, then that means P. Diddy's not going to be giving her the paycheck like that. And this is another thing that's going on, man, because he had everybody like that he was using for all the reality shows, all the music and everything. That's why their contracts was messed up. A lot of people was like going back to Bad Boy's office and telling them, demanding that they wanted to get out of that. They wanted more money, or they got this screwed over, or they got finessed on that. And this whole entire thing, it makes people realize why everybody want to be the biggest person from New York. And that's why Mike Tyson, he had a big problem with P. Diddy. He knew for a fact that they had a beef with Tupac and everything like that. And Biggie, the whole East Coast, West Coast thing was just due to the fact that Diddy, he was being like, he wanted to have more power and everything like that. And so once it got too deep to where he was even like, they were looking at getting Diddy. And so before Diddy got, he made sure that Pac and Big got before him, so that way they would think that it ended the whole war and everything like that. It was a strategic move done because Diddy, every time he went to LA, it was people following him around. He didn't want to have to go and check in LA because he knew that if Suge Knight said to send people, he could have had them sent, and that's why Suge Knight is locked up right now. Gene Deal overheard Diddy's phone call when P. Diddy talked about how he don't care if Pac got to get hit up first or Biggie got to get a hit up first, and Suge Knight got to get locked up in order for him to survive the East Coast, West Coast. And it's no coincidence that it happened exactly the way that he was trying to draw it up to happen, man. A lot of people, they pick sides with P. Diddy. They knew that they was going against the grain, but the money, the jealousy, the greed, the envy, like he paid off a lot of people to have them work with him to go against Pac and Big and Cassie and everybody else that he thought was in his way or whatever like that, man. Because when you really look at it, like Jay-Z was coming up, 50 Cent was coming up, he knew for a fact that he had to get ahead of the race. And so this is the reason why he tried to get everybody signed to him, and then slowly but surely like take everything that's coming in, man. And he was trying to tell them, nope, you have to do it exactly like the way I said, because he trying to make all the bread from all of them, man. And people got to realize that he had a lot of bread, he had a lot of money already, so why is he still chasing it? And so the $1 billion, he was being way too greedy to try to get to that level. He actually ended up like double crossing a lot of people that was good people. Cassie never did nothing to Diddy, Pac never did nothing to him, Biggie never did nothing to him. And so it's all like everybody was trying to be on good terms, but Diddy, he was on a whole nother mission, man. He had ulterior motives and everything. This is why everything came out in detail, shocking and everything like that, is due to the fact that he put on the image making it seem like he was some type of hero in New York or something like that, when in all actual reality, like the whole time at the end of the day, he was behind closed doors and conversations. He was talking to people that was their ops. He was talking to people from the other side. How could you have people signed, like Diddy had people signed to Bad Boys, but then he's actually talking to their ops and everything like that? How is it that he had Keefe D's number in his phone? They had the phone calls released between Diddy and Keefe D going way back to before Tupac. So you know they was planning something. A lot of people think that at the end of the day, P. Diddy already has some type of plan on what he was gonna do, how he was gonna like get out of the situation from the East Coast, West Coast, and how he was gonna plan on coming on top. And he put the bread. A lot of people said they put money on Pac's head. He wrote $1 million check. They ended up finding out about that, and the dude Keefe D, who was working with P. Diddy the whole time, he was his hitman basically, is what everyone's making it seem like. He's the guy that came out in a lot of interviews and went and wrote books and made a lot of statements and testimonies, and it ended up all getting everybody in trouble because the feds had enough evidence from that to come and actually like try to indict them on RICO charges. And they came and swept through Keefe D's garage. They actually like took him in and everything for questioning. They locked him up and all that, and they going on trial. He might end up telling on Diddy. He might end up telling on the whole entourage and everybody else who helped him, even though his nephew Orlando, he's already passed, and he pinned it on him when they know for a fact it was Big Dre who actually, like, they are suspecting Big Dre was one of the people whose arms came out the window. And if his arm came out the window, then that means that might be the dude who ended up being the one that blasted Pac, man. And this all goes back to the fact that Diddy cut the $1 million check to do that, because they wasn't trying to get Pac for free. When Tupac was in LA, they never like ran up on him like that, the way that they did in Vegas and everything like that. So when the Mike Tyson fight happened, Mike Tyson was trying to make sure that Tupac stays in the backstage with him the whole time. But Suge Knight, he said he want to take Tupac on a ride and to spin the block, go around real quick. They was going to go to Club 626. Then, as soon as they pulled up to that stoplight, that's when the dudes spin around. You could hear them saying, that's him, that's him. Suge Knight should have been on high alert and took off. A lot of people think that he even might have had him lined up and set up. Like, you have to be careful and watch everything that's going on, because at the end of the day, this happened to a lot of people where they on top. And next thing you know, the people around them get him set up. Tupac, he had a lot going for himself. And this is why Diddy, he's getting a lot of karma from this situation, because it should have never happened. People should have noticed that Pac had to been protected at all times, man. And because of the fact that Diddy was putting up $1 million on people's heads, it was gonna happen at some point eventually, man. But they ended up all getting caught for this. It's all coming down because what happened in the dark is coming to light, and they about to really crack the case on everything and get Diddy. If they getting him, he might end up doing a lot of years and paying a lot more money. Let me know what y'all think, because this whole thing is having a lot of people scratch their head and think, why did it all happen?